Round 1, fight!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tournament Fights. This is episode number 48. This is our Rom Com Championship. So, 3 episodes, 3 nights. It all comes down to this. We're going to be determining the greatest rom-com of all time, as chosen by our panel. So, you can kind of, you're tuning in for the first time. You can kind of see what's here. This is the tournament of 32, so you may or may not see some of your favorites in. Maybe some of them didn't make the cut. You never know. So, I mean, this tournament fights gets a little wild sometimes, as far as like just random things showing up and like stuff that are like at the top of everybody's list. They don't make it sometimes. It's just the way it goes here on tournament fights. But I am your host, Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, for tonight. So I'll go ahead and I'll introduce our panel for tonight. So first up, we have the meme queen, Jen Kempe. How's it going?
Hey, it's good to be back. And yeah, on that note, not a single Tom Hanks or Meg Ryan collaboration made this list. So we've already failed. But I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. I voted for, I want to say, at least You've Got Mail, but I don't think the rest.
You've Got Mail is God tier. So I was very surprised that didn't make it. It wasn't on the part that I was on. So I don't know what y'all were doing in part 1, but something went haywire there.
Well, part 1 was a sausage fest. It was all guys. We tried to get some female perspective, and it just didn't work out. So what can you do? Mm-hmm. But we also have joining us Richie Goodacre. How's it going?
So that time there's some men up in here. Jesus,
oh yeah.
There's one thing.
We are manly men. We like our rom-com.
Yeah, right.
There's one thing I know about, great panelists. If there's one thing I know about romance, it's nothing. So that's cool.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Yeah. But we also have joining us Jacob Barber.
Hello. It's going. Some of my closest friends call me the rom-com expert.
All right.
My friends don't know me.
Why would your friends lie to you like that? That's not really good friendship. I'll really evaluate your friendship.
Terrible.
Yeah. Who are those?
I need new friends.
But we also have Malcolm Lay in the house. How's it going?
It's going good. Just can't wait to see what chaos we have wrought from part 1.
Yeah, right.
I tried to get some of the more female-centric ones on there, but no one's going for it. So.
Yep. I know. Sometimes you're fighting a losing battle. Sometimes, depending. So yep. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. So I'll just explain how it's going to work tonight. So everyone here has been here, done that before. But for anyone that's tuning in, we are doing a half bracket tonight, so we're only doing a 32 because we took the Sweet 16 from each of our other tournaments of 64 for rom-coms and put them in the championship. And so we're just going to be going around the panel, voting round by round for which one we think we should advance. And we each get about 30 seconds or so to kind of give our thoughts about why we're voting for the one we're choosing to vote for. And then we just go until we determine a championship. And there are no seeds, so we put all the movies into a randomizer. So we get some
allegedly.
Yeah. Randomizer, but no. You see some of the matchups in the first round, you'll know like there's got to be random because you get some potential championship matches in the first round. But also, everybody has to vote. So even if you haven't seen them, you just make up a reason, vote for the poster. If you which one you would rather see. I mean, we always love a good spite vote on tournament fights, so there's always all that stuff. So yeah, and I'll go ahead and I will bring out the tournament bracket. I'll just throw Pez here. He's listening from work, so he says, "Shout out to Jen for not letting the championship be a complete sausage party." It's not
I had to come try to salvage something from part 1. Yeah.
Yeah. or Andre got males, right? Yeah. But all right, let's see here. Bring up the bracket here. All right. Yeah, this is a nice break from listening to Johnny Depp's testimony in court all day long. I've been
very far from a rom-com.
In the background, yeah, very far. It's the opposite of a rom-com. It's like a horror show. Yeah, but yeah, and how it's gonna work is we'll just go in order of how it's displayed on the screen. So we'll start at the bottom of the ladder, and we'll just kind of work our way up as we go through the rounds here. And let's see. So we will start with Malcolm. You'll be first, and I'll go and I'll reveal our first matchup here. So we have 10 Things I Hate About You going against Mean Girls. They're not going to be easy with the a lot of heavy hitters here. So Malcolm, you're first. So on which one you want to go for?
Yeah, I mean, I do like both of these movies. But as I said last time Mean Girls came up, I see it more as a comedy than not so much a rom-com. So I'm going to vote for the rom-com on this out of this. To its 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Well, yeah, we've got a conundrum here that one's more comedy than romance. One's more romance than comedy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say, like, I mean, most comedies have a romantic element, but yeah, I think it's more it's more pronounced. It's more pronounced with 10 Things I Hate About You. So I'm going to go follow Malcolm's logic and go 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm of the same mind of Mean Girls is really about the dynamic between the ladies, which can be a rom-com in some certain situations, but not in this one particularly. It is really just a straight-up coming-of-age kind of comedy that happens to have a romance at the end because it's a high school movie, so there's got to be a little bit of that. Meanwhile, 10 Things I Hate About You is a classic for a certain generation and for good reason. So yeah, it's got to go to 10 Things.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think?
What they said. They pretty much summed it up perfectly. So I'm gonna just follow suit and go 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, and I would tend to agree with that because Mean Girls kind of heavy on the comedy, heavy on the com, less on the rom, I'll say. But and 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite rom-coms of all time. So this. That one is a heavy hitter for me personally. So, I mean, I would probably vote for it, no matter what it went up against just about. So, yeah, I got to vote 10 Things I Hate About You.
And it's set in the state of Washington, so I like it that much more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, like Seattle area, yeah. I don't know.
Do you have any rom-coms on the list set in Brisbane, Australia? Probably.
Probably not so much. No. I'm sure there is one out there somewhere.
Yeah, do you count Walkabout as a rom-com?
Yeah, about that. Yeah. But up next, we have 27 Dresses up against My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So we'll start with Richie this time. So what do you...
Would you count TV series Joe vs. Carol as a rom-com? Because that was from the beginning.
Sure, yeah.
People on that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look 27. I think I said it last time I was on this topic of the show. I think I watched 27 Dresses because there was nothing else in the theater. I'm just like, let's watch it. And it's classic. it's your classic Katherine Heigl movie. It's not her worst. It's pretty inoffensive. It's fine. But Big Fat Greek Wedding is one of the is a very iconic film for a reason. It's one of the more successful indie films of the time. One of the more successful romantic comedies. Less said about the sequel, the better. But I think this is easy to me. I'm going to say a Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Jen, what do you think?
Oh God, you had to mention the sequel. I forgot that existed for a second. There's also a show. Like they really tried to make this a phenomenon beyond what it was. But no, I have a lot of
Not
love for
good.
both of these films. Like 27 Dresses, it is like really, it is fluff. It is pure sugar. There's nothing of substance really there, but it's still like it checks all the boxes in terms of what you're looking for with a Katherine Heigl kind of movie. And James Marsden is a charming guy. Like he's always fun to watch. Like if you haven't seen Sonic 2, go see Sonic 2 because he's so great.
Yes.
But meanwhile, like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, it is such like a charming script with all these adorable characters and the nice family feel that you don't quite get, honestly, that terms of like reality with some certain stereotypes thrown in there, but it's one of those things of everyone kind of can relate to a little bit of it if you've come from a big family. So yeah, I really love My Big Fat Greek Wedding, so I gotta give it to that.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
I know that I've seen 27 Dresses once, and I don't really remember anything about it. Like nothing is sticking with me.
Not very
I just
memorable.
actually watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding for the first time, like 2 or 3 days ago.
Ooh, nice.
Because yeah, after Austin was like, "Hey, I can't be there. You should hop on so Jordan doesn't feel lost with
Yeah.
keeping track
But
of
no,
things." So like, okay,
but no,
sure. So he sent me the list, and
yeah.
there's only a handful of movies that I hadn't seen. My Big Fat Greek Wedding was one of them, and so I turned it on, and I had a good time with it. I thought it was a lot of fun. The two leads, I thought they were really good together. So I mean, this is probably one that I'll revisit sometime. So I will go with My Big Fat Greek Wedding,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just a fun title to say.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Appreciate you being here at Jacob's. I don't burn the entire show to the ground. So yeah. But 27 Dresses is actually the one movie on this list I have not seen yet. I tried to get to the rest of them. I actually had a choice to watch that or to rewatch Definitely Maybe, which I hadn't seen in a long time. Remember that I actually really liked that movie, so I decided to just watch it. To rewatch it because I hadn't seen it since theaters. So, but I have seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's fine. It's not one that I love or anything, but I think it's fine. So since I haven't seen the other one, I'll vote for My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Malcolm, what do you think?
So on this day, 20 years ago, My Big Fat Greek Wedding was released.
That's right. That's right. It's an anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It really is.
Nice.
Just,
What a coincidence.
It's as if Jordan played it on. But
Nice.
anyway, but that
It's a
being
fate
said,
rom-com.
I mean, I do enjoy both these movies, but when I ranked these on Letterboxd, one of them ended up at the very top, but the other ended up at the very bottom. And it's My Big Fat Greek Wedding is what I'm going to vote for.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, it sounds like my Big Fat Greek Wedding. It is, and
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But
yes,
27 Dresses has one of the quintessential Judy Greer as the best friend roles. Like that is one of the best. Like it's a strong stereotype for Judy Greer, and that's when she really shines in that movie. So.
yeah, it really has a lot of the like stereotypes. I mean, like Katherine Heigl and James Marsden, they're like big rom-coms.
Oh yeah,
they show up all the time. So yeah, yep. But
I also think they really missed out by not calling the sequel My Bigger, Fatter, Greeker Wedding.
Yes.
But that's just
yeah, what are they thinking? Right? But we got 50 First Dates going up against Crazy Rich Asians. Ooh, all right. So Jen, you're up first.
Damn it. Okay.
I heard the groan, so you got to go first.
I know, right? I love both of these films. However, I think I have a little leeway here because I'm pretty sure there's another film starring Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, which I prefer on this list. So I don't feel that bad about giving it to Crazy Rich Asians here. Because, yeah, like Crazy Rich Asians, it is a phenomenon. It's fantastic. 50 First Dates is adorable. It's very cute, very quirky, but they have a lot of films together. So Crazy Rich Asians, on the other hand, you don't see that kind of film come along, especially nowadays. So, yeah, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
I think Jen and I are in the same mindset so far because it's my thoughts exactly. I think there's a better Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler movie on the list, and Crazy Rich Asians was such a surprise. It was one of those movies that I was like, maybe I'll get around to watching it, maybe I won't. And then I watched it and I absolutely loved it. I think it is really good. Um, it's it's like your typical romantic comedy, but it works. It works so well. So I'm gonna go with Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, for me, this one's close because I think both of these are fine. I think that they're both good, but Crazy Rich Asians, I think I like a little more just for seeing all of the Asian culture kind of showcased. I think that's pretty cool to give a lot of Asian actors their time to shine. I think that's pretty cool. But for me personally, I just think that I get a little more entertainment value out of 51st Dates. Like it's one that's a little more rewatchable for me, and I'm also a big Adam Sandler fan, probably more than most. I grew up watching like Billy Madison and some of those at like a really young age. Watched it when I was like 9 years old or something like that. And so yeah, I'll vote 51st Dates, but just by a little bit. So Malcolm.
Yeah, I love both of these movies, but I'm gonna go Crazy Rich Asians because I think there's Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler a better rom com on this list. So.
Yeah, yep, that's fair. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, much love to Crazy Rich Asians. It's a good movie. Shout out to my friend Roddy Chang who's in this movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to open for him, so it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
But like you, like Jordan, I grew up on Adam Sandler. I think there's a reason that Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler did a bunch of movies together because they had really good chemistry. And it's not as good as another one that's on the list, not but like it's still it's still pretty solid. I think I have an issue with Rob Schneider's character in this movie, but I haven't really.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a little weird.
but it's probably nostalgia talking, but I'll go 51st Dates.
But 51st Dates does have transgender representation in a weird way, but yeah,
in a not exactly respectful way, but
right, yeah, yeah. But Crazy Rich Asians, it is. So.
Shout out
Richie.
to one of Sean Astin's best roles since Lord of the Rings, though. What a surprise!
Yeah, right. Serious. Yeah.
And Richie, you could have just ended with "I have an issue with Rob Schneider," and it would have been fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
valid.
yeah.
Yeah, it's valid. Yeah. But next we have Bridget Jones's Diary up against Palm Springs.
Ooh.
All right. So, Jacob, you're up first. So, what do you think?
Yeah, and I will keep this short and sweet. I have not seen Bridget Jones' Diary, so I will go with Palm Springs because I've seen it and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. So, Palm Springs, just because I've seen it.
Yeah. For me, I'm not a big fan of Bridget Jones's Diary. I'm not a big Renee Zellweger fan. I'm not even a big Hugh Grant fan. I do love Colin Firth, like he's great, but Palm Springs is awesome though. Like it's very rewatchable. Like it's funny and Andy Samberg and Christina Milioti, I think that's how you say it. She's great, and then also J.K. Simmons too. So we'll vote Palm Springs. Malcolm?
Yeah, I mean, I love both of these movies. Like Palm Springs is really good, but Bridget Jones' Diary is one of those movies that I watch constantly. It's one that's kind of crept into my top 100 movies of all time. It's just one that I really do enjoy a lot. So I'm gonna go Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't seen Palm Springs yet. I've heard great things. I do like the sort of the time loop genre that sort of been making a comeback lately, and I think that most of them have been pretty good. So I'll get around to it at some point. But yeah, Bridget Jones. I think the Brits make great romantic comedies, unless it's Love Actually, but we'll get into it. I think that they find the formula pretty well. And yeah, like Hugh Grant's quite a staple as rom-coms. It is cliche to put him in a rom-com, but he's really good in this. And I think Bridget Jones' Diary is good, so I'll go Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, and then shout out to Matt in the comments section with the text quote. Oh, she'll go watch Bridget Jones something. It'll be fine. Yeah, yeah. But Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, for when we had part 2 of this, I managed to rush and go watch Palm Springs finally, and I really did enjoy it.
Nice.
It's very creative. It is definitely a rom-com. I know some people were like, "Oh, it's a time travel movie." It is definitely a rom-com, and it's fantastic, and the chemistry between the two is great. However, there are 3 Bridget Jones's movies for a reason. Like, this is a fantastic British kind of comedy that is accessible to American audiences. It's not always the case, hence the Love Actually comments, which I tend to agree with. But like Renee Zellweger, she gives a nice, fresh kind of take on what it's like to be a woman of a certain age and a more normal kind of body type, trying to figure out what romance means to her in the realish kind of world. I say realish because when you're in between these 2 guys, like that's rarely the case when you're trying to make a decision. Always go Colin Firth though. But yeah, it's a fun script. It's very clever and witty and fun. So yeah, I got to go Bridget Jones. Even though I love Palm Springs, it's a fantastic watch. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, Bridget Jones's Diary taking it, so it might be an upset. I'm not sure. I mean, they're pretty close. So
it's a legacy.
Yeah,
Also,
right.
Also,
Yeah,
I
there
think
you
you
go.
missed out, Jordan. You didn't put Ted in the rom-com tournament at all.
I know Ted is.
Oh,
That's an
yeah,
arguable.
Yeah, actually,
It's both a rom-com and a bromance, like a
Yeah,
brom-com.
romance movies.
We can do on it. Yeah.
You can actually do romance movies. I think that'd be right.
Jen, I think you
Oh,
just
yeah.
made a new genre of comedies.
I love
Rom-coms.
rom-coms. Like, I love you, man.
Rom-coms.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, the good idea for a tournament fight to do it like best bromances.
Let's do some
I think that's a
romantic
solid-
comedies.
Yeah.
I feel like all the Jackass movies would fit there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Strongly agree.
Yeah. But we have Shallow Hal up next, going up against The Graduate.
How does Shallow Hal make it this far? Anyway.
I don't know. People like it, so
That would be Austin, I think.
Yeah.
I said that
Yeah.
about a couple movies.
Yeah. The for the cuckoo scene or whatever. Yeah. But well, actually, so I'm up first, and actually, just because I've only seen The Graduate once, and for whatever reason, I just remember not really being that into it. Like it was fine, but I'm a huge Jack Black fan, and for whatever reason, I think I'm gonna go Shallow Hal here because it makes me laugh. I mean, Jason Alexander with a tail. I mean, come on, that's just like pretty funny, like pretty wacky. So yeah, I'm gonna go Shallow Hal. But Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I love both these movies. I can't remember what it bit out to get this far, but it is. I just really do think it's a good movie. But I'm going to go The Graduate because it is only one of 2 movies that made it this far that was made before 1980. So I want to give some up to the classic movies.
Yeah, and Austin has a good point. I think that it
did.
had a pretty easy corner of the bracket. Yeah, not
Right
very
side,
hard
weak
competition.
side. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But Richie, what do you think?
I mean, despite what I said, I don't dislike Shallow Hal. It's just a movie that probably you wouldn't be able to make today at all. But it's fine. Like people say, "Yo, you can't make this today." And sometimes,
Yeah.
I think at its core, it might have a good message. But yeah, it's very hard to watch sometimes. But I don't know. I do enjoy it. I'm a hypocrite because I do own the movie.
Yeah. I'm not
But
on VHS for some reason.
I think the sort of more ultimate rom-com is The Graduate. So I'll throw some love to The Graduate.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I will say that Shallow Hal, it is better than it has any right to be. And most of that has to deal with Jack Black being one of the most charming, magnetic characters out there, period. But The Graduate, as Malcolm said, this is the oldest film that we have on this list. So I was probably automatically going to give it just a little push. But having said that, it is you might look at it and go like, I wouldn't really say that's a rom-com. It is definitely a rom-com, but it is more dry, mature kind of comedy involved. So I totally respect it for that as well, having that represented on this list. So yeah, The Graduate.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
I unfortunately have not seen The Graduate. So I'll go with Shallow Hal just because I've seen it and I do get enjoyment out of it. But regardless, The Graduate will move on.
Yeah, Graduate it is. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the older rom-coms are more of that dry humor.
Yes. Yeah, like
I think
Harold and
so,
Maude. Yeah.
A Tapered One
Yeah.
Night.
A lot of that. Yep. But we have definitely maybe going up against Grease. All right. All right. So we're back to Malcolm. So what do you think?
I once again, both these movies are good. And Grease is one of those ones I've actually wanted to rewatch. Sort of, before we did this, but I just didn't have time. But I'm definitely maybe not going to vote for Grease. I'm going to vote for definitely maybe.
Yep. Sounds good. Yep. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah. Grease tells you that in order to get the guy, you got to change everything about yourself, your entire personality to just cater to what this one person, and then you might get the guy and fly off in a car for some reason.
Just fly away. Yeah.
They died.
I mean, I don't.
Daddy changes himself just as much to get the girl.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, I mean, I don't hate Grease, but like, definitely maybe I think it's underrated. I kind of miss toned down Ryan Reynolds sometimes. He's just not playing Deadpool in every movie, so I'll go definitely maybe.
Yeah. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, I discovered this last time on part 2 when definitely maybe showed up that you guys really like this movie. Like I enjoy it, but it tends to be like the people that really get behind it tend to be the guys, which I find very interesting. It might have to do with Ryan Reynolds and the fact that you have some of the most beautiful actresses on the poster here. So yeah, like it's a charming film. Meanwhile, Grease is very problematic. Some great songs and some great dance sequences. However, if you stop and think about it for more than like 2 seconds, like, there's a lot of stuff in there that's really a little weird. So I guess I'll give it to definitely maybe, but I don't have strong feelings either way.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
I mean, in matchups of movies I've seen against movies I haven't seen, it's pretty easy. Definitely maybe is one that I want to get to. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. So it's one of his movies that I unfortunately haven't been able to get to yet. I like Grease. I really enjoy it. I think the music is great, but I think I like it more for the music than than anything else. So I'll give it my vote, but again, it's not because I love the movie. I like the movie.
Yeah.
Love the music, like the movie.
Yeah. Well, Matt, he points out too. So please don't forget, Danny also changed for Sandy.
He did.
So yeah.
But then the minute he saw him wearing those leather pants, he tossed it away. So.
Yep, he was done. Yeah. But Grease I do like, but I won't say that I love it. Like I'm kind of in the same boat as Jacob there. I just kind of like it. I actually prefer Grease 2 over this one. I think it's a little more edgier and just I don't know. I just like it for whatever reason a little more. But definitely maybe I just gave a rewatch this morning because I hadn't seen it when since it first came out. I remember that I really liked it the first time that I watched it. I still did on a rerun. For me, I don't think that it held up quite as well, just because it has so many of the tropes from every single rom-com, and then it has all of like the typical music that you hear from every rom-com, and then like the some of the relationships I don't necessarily buy because some of them just happen so fast that like they're already like proposing to each other, and it's just like like about like 15 minutes ago, like you guys just met and now you're proposing. What's going on here? So but I'll still probably give it to definitely maybe just because I probably enjoyed it a lot more than Grease. So we'll go definitely maybe. So I think Definitely maybe for the win.
Yeah, you're not alone with that. I do kind of like Grease 2 a little bit more. I think the songs are actually better.
Yeah,
And
same.
it's hot takes, man. Hot take. Hot.
Yep,
I,
yep.
I
And
haven't
also
seen Grease
funnier too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yay!
Wedding Singer.
There
Speaking
we
of that,
go.
of
Oh,
Ah!
Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Wedding Crashers. Well, the bromance, one of the
shit.
bro coms there. So, but
Are we sure this is random? Both movies with wedding in
Right?
the title are going up against each other.
Are they
That's random.
gonna cry? Like,
Yeah, yeah, right.
I would like to see a crossover of this mini.
Yes.
Do it.
Right. Well, you're up first, Richie. So
All right, cool.
Okay.
Look, I've seen Wedding Crashers more times than probably most movies. Every time like I'm doing trivia and they ask for like a strength movie, I always mention this. I know this off by heart. However, I don't know if I'd call it romantic comedy necessarily. It's a there's romance in it, but yeah, like it's not exactly romantic. I would say. I think, but like the chemistry, obviously, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, it's great, and I like Isla Fisher in this, not just because she's Australian, but also because she's Australian. And Rachel McAdams. But I think the kind of the more romantic comedy side of me wants to give it to Wedding Singer. Like we said it before about Adam Sandler's and Drew Barrymore's chemistry. It's really great here, and the comedy is really good. And I just think it's sweet. And then Wedding Crashers doesn't have Billy Idol in it, so Wedding Singer.
Yeah. Well, to be fair about the randomizer is that we probably have at least 10 movies that are rom-coms that have the word wedding in the title. Probably.
That is true. Yeah.
True.
They might not be in this tournament per se, but they exist. So yeah.
You're saying the wedding plan is
Jen,
not.
what do you think?
Oh man, like
No, sorry, that classic didn't make it. Sorry, I just missed the cat thing.
Just missed the cut. I have a lot of love for both of these films, but yeah, like I tend to agree with Richie of like the selling point for Wedding Crashers being something that you remember all these years later is really the bromance between Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Granted, the separate romantic storylines between the two, like Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams before she was a big thing, and Vince Vaughn, and that was really what kind of launched Isla Fisher, even though she hasn't really done enough, honestly, for the amount of talent she has for both comedy and just being adorable. Like there are a lot of romantic elements in there and it's very sweet at times, but really the thing that you remember is how funny these two are together. So when we do the Rom Coms, this is definitely a heavy hitter. However, Wedding Singer, this is the reason I didn't vote for 51st Dates earlier. Like this is the one for the Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler matchup that has happened numerous times. And really this is the one where they just really completely clicked. I absolutely love this film. So yeah, Wedding Singer all the way.
Yeah. Sounds good. What do you think?
Wedding Singer was one of the other ones I watched for the first time after Austin sent me the list. I loved it. I thought it was great. Wedding Crashers is hilarious. I love the bromance in that movie more than like the separate romantic storylines. Personally, I think The Wedding Singer was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I laughed a lot more than I thought I would because I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan, but I think this is one of his better movies. I think it's one of the better romantic comedies on this list, and I will give it my vote.
Yeah. For me, I love The Wedding Singer. Robbie Hart, he's one of the like great like rom-com just characters, and The Wedding Singer for me has a lot of like memorable lines, quotable, like he's losing his mind and I'm reaping all the benefits, like all of that, and then like the old lady getting up singing a hip it to the hop, like all that stuff, or like Somebody Kill Me Please, people sing along to that song. There's a lot of those in there, and Wedding Crashers is fun, and I agree, like it'll be a heavy hitter when we get to the bromance tournament fights when that happens, but I think that I got to go with The Wedding Singer here. Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
one of these movies has got Billy Idol in it. The other one has country music singer Dwight Yoakam in it.
Which one do you like better?
But yeah, this is easy for me. I'm not a big fan of Wedding Crashes. I think I said this on the last one. Wedding Singer is much better, so Wedding Singer all the way.
Yeah.
But it's not unusual to see Dwight Yoakam. He's an actor as well, so you know.
Yeah, it's true. But and then they are making a sequel to one of these, and it's not The Wedding Singer. So they're
well, they've been talking
Really?
about that. I don't even know how you.
They've been talking about it. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but
Oh, they're finally going to go through with a funeral crashing.
Funeral crashes.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Chad.
seriously, they need that. Yeah, yep. But The Wedding Singer moves on. So
I do like also. I just for the on the poster of Wedding Crashes, like Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, and Christopher Walken get a mention, but not Rachel McAdams, who's got more screen time than Christopher Walken. Anyway,
yeah, right.
It wasn't a thing yet.
With Christopher Walken. Yeah, that's funny. Yep, he's a more known name, I guess. But forgetting Sarah Marshall up next, going up against When Harry Met Sally. Ooh, all right. Well, Jen, you're up first.
Damn it.
Every time you saw it, you gotta go first. That's the thing.
I know. But, God, in part 2, I was a big champion for Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I do love this film. It's adorable. It's a very sweet romantic comedy. It's very funny at the same time. However, When Harry Met Sally is a classic. When I tweeted out the link to the show today, I used the When Harry Met Sally gif, so I feel like I'd be a liar if I didn't pick it now. And we're going to talk about it. I'm sure it's going through, so we'll talk about it more later. But yeah, When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
When Harry Met Sally is another big blind spot for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get around to it. Like, I have it right here. And I was like, all right, this is going to be one that I put in. Yeah, like, this is going to be one that I put in before Tuesday. And time just got away from me. I just didn't have time to watch the 10 movies from the list that I hadn't seen. I had time for like 4. So I have seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I think it's really good. I think Mila Kunis and Jason Segel work really well together. Russell Brand is hilarious. So I'll give it my vote, although I think I know what's going through.
Yeah.
Probably when I watch Harry Met Sally, I'll just come back and be like, all right, no, I'm going to change
What a
my
fool.
vote. I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned it before that the first time that I saw When Harry Met Sally, I actually saw it in theaters because they're showing it at a movie theater where I was working at the time, so I got to see it for the first time there, so that was cool. And When Harry Met Sally is probably one of the smartest rom-coms that I've seen. Like, it's really well written, and there's a lot of memorable lines that just kind of hit you like pretty hard, and like there's some of those that like when I came here tonight, because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, that you want the rest of your life to start. So it's kind of some of those lines, but and Forgetting Sarah Marshall is great. I mean, there's some awesome kind of puppet scenes with Jason Segel and all the vampire stuff. Like, Dracula the musical. Yeah, so that's fun. But and maybe if it was going up against something else, but I think when Harry Met Sally is kind of a juggernaut when it comes to rom-com. So I got to go When Harry Met Sally. Malcolm.
Yeah, so I said it on part 2. I don't get the hype for Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's fine.
We were like breaking your spirit every time we went up another round. Honestly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I did promise I'll give it a rewatch. I still haven't got around to giving it a rewatch. Eventually I will. But that was when I did put in my list of ones to rewatch for this, but I just didn't have time. But When Harry Met Sally is a classic, and that's getting my vote.
Yeah.
Richie.
It's delay. I love forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah, and so does my dog apparently.
Welcome back, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a great comedy. I think Mila Kunis and Jason Segel have really good chemistry. Russell Brand's good in this. Not a huge fan of him these days. I think he's a bit of a lunatic, but but I'll give him credit. He's really good in this, and yeah, I'm glad that they kind of acknowledged that and then gave him made get into the Greek because that was pretty good too. But you can't go past it. And Harry Met Sally, it's a quintessential rom-com. It's great. It holds up all these years later. So yeah, it's much better than when Harry met Lloyd. That movie was up.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we better. And also, the only rom-com that still has Meg Ryan. There's no Tom Hanks, but there's a Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta have some Meg.
So this is carrying the weight of Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail, and Joe Faces Volcano.
Yeah, all of that. Yep. So, yep, and it is moving on. So,
Although on that note, Russell Brand was so unrecognizable in Death on a Nile.
I didn't even know he was in it until I was watching it, and it blew me away. I was like, "Why? Why are you here?"
Yeah. Interesting, but that'll be the end of that side. So,
We did it.
doing pretty
Cool.
good.
It's only 41 minutes.
I think that's record
Yeah.
time. We're doing fantastically, everyone.
Record time.
Well,
We'd only have 30.
it's only half the year.
Yeah.
Half
So
the
we'll
size.
see. So, if you think about it, if it would have been a normal one, we would have been like an hour and a half by now or something. But we have knocked up and up against 13, going on 30. So, and it is Jacob first.
Yeah. I'm like lukewarm on both of these movies. I guess if you ask me which one, if they were both in front of me, so that's how I'll decide this. If they were both in front of me, which one would I rather watch? And I think I would rather watch 13 going on 30. So that will get my vote.
Yeah. Well, we have another one of those Katherine Heigl rom-coms in here. So I'm not a huge Katherine Heigl fan, but I am a huge fan of the rest of the cast of Knocked Up, and especially for like when they do mushrooms and they go see Cirque du Soleil, like just gets me every
For no
time.
reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for no reason.
Because nothing
It's so
says
good.
rom-com like Cirque du Soleil on mushrooms.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The scene where Paul
Screams
Rudd is like
rom-com.
trying out the energy in all the different chairs in the hotel room remains one of my favorite random scenes of all time.
Yeah, it's so good. And 13 going on 30, like something that my younger sister watched all the time, so I kind of like associate it with like a younger generation. Whether it actually is or not, I'm going to be seen, I think, still. But I think that in the same way as Jacob, if you put both of these in front of me, I'd actually go for Knocked Up. So I'll vote Knocked Up. Malcolm?
Way to be original.
Yep. I know, right?
Yeah, I do. It's been a while since I've seen Knocked Up. I do enjoy it, but I recently rewatched Suddenly 30, which is what Going on 30 is known for us.
Are we just putting
different? We
are
have to be
putting new
different all the
movies
time.
in here?
Yeah.
And fun fact, the person that played the 13-year-old Jennifer Garner is now 30. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Time flies.
There you go.
But my vote's going to 30 and Going on 30.
Well, 30 going on like 60 next, right? But yeah, one of these days I want to do a tournament using all like alternative movie posters with the like titles from the other countries.
Yeah.
But Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, Australia and New Zealand are weird like that with alternate things. Like I think I've mentioned here, like the speaking of Seth Rogen, like Bad Neighbors is just. Neighbors is just called Bad Neighbors here because there's a sitcom in Australia. Like a soap in Australia called Neighbors. It's like, I get about who the fuck is confusing those two things. Anyway,
Who's going to think they're making a movie of Neighbours, the TV show?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, I haven't. I'm still yet to see Suddenly 30. But yeah, Knocked Up is great. Yeah, I think, I think this is one of the even Katherine Heigl's better role. Even though she didn't speak about the movie. And then she called the movie sexist, and then made Ugly Truth, which is probably worse.
Oh.
So but like
cool.
Knocked Up is still funny. I still get nightmares where like that was Jonah Hill walks into runs into the
Jay Baruchel.
and then like she's like,
Don't go in there.
Yeah.
So, I'll go Knocked Up.
Yeah, and when Steven points out that it was Jennifer Garner's birthday a couple of days ago, just remember that.
Oh God.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, Jennifer Garner, but Knocked Up.
Yeah, right. But Jen, what do you think?
Oh God, I have like changed my mind 5 times already because I love both of these films. I just watched Knocked Up again, like for the first time in a long time, like last week, and it still holds up. What's the count right now? Is it split?
Yeah.
I think it's
Am I
split,
deciding for? Oh God, that makes it even harder. Okay, like,
Our only ties have been decided by you so far.
fantastic. This is why I'm here. Like this is kind of tough because like Knocked Up, I have a lot of love for this movie. I know that some people didn't quite feel it out, and like it is definitely like I understand Katherine Heigl's disdain a little bit for this film because they do kind of make her out to be the shrew character, which that's what they're going for. It's fine, but at the same time, it also has Leslie Mann, and she's fucking hilarious in this. But at the same time, over in 13 Going 30, I mentioned her earlier. This is another god tier Judy Greer performance where she really gets to let loose and be a bit of a villain in it. And meanwhile, Jennifer Garner is just perfectly adorable. Again, another actress that I think should have been doing way more stuff and just kind of disappeared, unfortunately. So like you have one that's a little bit more edgy in terms of the rom-coms, and then another that is very clearly going for that just perfect little cookie cutter kind of thing. But I think I'm going to give the edge to 13 Going on 30 because only one of these films has Andy Serkis doing the robot. So I'm going to go with that. 13 Going on 30.
Yep, there you go. Well, I just be glad that that's not This Is 40. That movie is way too long. Yeah. But
I actually wouldn't mind This Is 40 versus 13 Going on 30. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
But Judy Greer's been in enough movies to probably do a tour de France of her.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's been
you get to have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in there. How cool is that?
Right? Yeah, seriously. We need to do like the filmography of like some like character actors that never get the leading role, but they're always like that side character, you know. So, yeah. But we have music and lyrics up against the 40-year-old virgin. Okay, so I believe it's me first, and this one's pretty easy. I think I got to go with the 40-year-old virgin here. The music and lyrics, it's really good. Like I have some friends who are like really, really into it, especially all the music from it. It does have some pretty great music, like Pop Goes My Heart and like some of those songs and stuff. But the 40-year-old virgin, for me, it's a classic. Like just so good, especially all the stuff like in the stereo shop with like Jane Lynch and like all of her employees and all that. Just so good. So yeah, I gotta go with the 40-year-old virgin here. Malcolm, what do you think?
There's only 2 movies in this that I just didn't get around to actually watching for this, and one of them is music and lyrics. But it's definitely one that I've heard a lot about. I do want to get to because I do like Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore. But 40-year-old virgin is just amazing, and I'm going to vote for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie?
Yeah, music and lyrics is a charming movie. I remember liking it. And it's getting great chemistry with Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. I think they're dominating this tournament with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore. But 40-year-old virgin, I watched it again recently. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I think it's fantastic. I'm surprised they're just all the performances. I'm surprised like Romany Malco is not a bigger star. He was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
I like the Kevin Hart cameo. It's like you're coming at me with big words. I'm gonna take that as disrespect. Like you mentioned before, aforementioned Leslie Mann is really good. I'm just gonna get some fucking French toast.
French toast.
And
then like obviously the I think that's one of the first film appearances by I think Jonah Hill when he's in the East.
So weird.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But obviously the chemistry between like Catherine Keener and Steve Carell's great. I think it's just a fun, like, charming movie. Probably maybe go like, I think one of the biggest knocks on Judd Apatow's filmography is that like his comedies tend to go for a bit too long, but it's probably a knock on here a little bit, but it's still a really great movie. So 40-Year-Old Virgin quite easily actually.
Yeah, and that same I think it's like Michael McDonald, the music video that they play over and over again. It gets in your head. You're just like damn it. Yeah. But Jen, what do you think?
Oh God, I love both of these films as well. And this, I'm gonna pretty much reverse what I did last time. Of 40-Year-Old Virgin is a different, like, when you think rom-coms, it's not necessarily the first thing that comes to mind, but it definitely is a rom-com. Meanwhile, Music and Lyrics is very much like a generic kind of rom-com scenario kind of situation. I will argue it's probably my favorite Hugh Grant performance. I don't think I've never really clicked with him, and this is the most charming I think he's ever been on screen. And I think it helps that this is one of Drew Barrymore's more weirder kind of characters. She's kind of like off-putting to a certain extent, which is weird because she's very like just, I don't know. But I do love Music and Lyrics. I have a strong affinity for 80s pop kind of music, so clearly this speaks to me. But 40-Year-Old Virgin, it is hilarious, and this was the champion of part 2, so clearly I'm a fan as well because I didn't have to work hard to get that going. But I think it, even though it might in your head seem more of a comedy, it is definitely a rom-com, and it's mostly because Steve Carell is so earnest in his love for Catherine Keener, and don't we all just love Catherine Keener? So like, it's not that hard to do, but at the same time, it's fantastic. So 40-Year-Old Virgin, but Music and Lyrics is very sweet. If you haven't seen it, it's a charming little movie.
yeah, for sure. Jacob, what do you think?
I guess I'll be the different vote here and go Music and Lyrics because I think that movie is fantastic. And every time I rewatch the 40-Year-Old Virgin, I just think it's less funny every time.
Yeah.
So Music and Lyrics is great. I think Pop Goes My Heart is an absolute banger. If you haven't listened to it, definitely listen to it. And it'll get stuck in your head. Mm-hmm. So, because it is stuck in my head now. As soon as I saw the poster, I was like, all right, here we go.
Just don't break your hip.
Yeah, all right. But 40-Year-Old Virgin moves on. A little love for Music and Lyrics, but we have Never Been Kissed going up against About Time.
What do you think?
It's About Time. Never Been Kissed came up.
Yeah, right. We'll get to Jacob. He'll come up in a minute, but Malcolm, you're up first.
But yeah, there's 5 Richard Curtis written rom-coms that in this whole in rom-com tournament. Only 3 of them made it this far. It should have been 5, but I rewatched Never Been Kissed before. It's fine. It's really not that good. Now that it's one that that I remember liking more than I did when I first watched it, but after we watched it, it's definitely so dated. But that being said, About Time is great. It's probably my in my top 5 of the movies that made it in this in the championship. So About Time is my vote easily.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second here. Like, this kind of triggered me because I believe Notting Hill didn't make the list, and that's one of the that's one of my favorite rom-coms. You're all fucking insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like this community gushes about Time, and they got a fucking hard on this movie. It's good. It's like, but like, I wouldn't call it like one of the best ever made or anything, but it's a great. I do think it's great. And it's like Never Been Kissed. I think I like it more than some other person in this panel, but yeah,
Somebody.
I think it's decent, but probably more memorable is About Time. But I do think it's a bit overrated, but About Time.
Yeah. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, unfortunately, I thought I was going to be like all set and be like, I've seen all of these movies this time, and I missed one. I have not seen Never Been Kissed before. I don't feel too bad about it because Drew Barrymore clearly has a lot of representation here. Clearly, she's one of the rom-com queens. So by default, I'm going to go with About Time, but I do love it, so I don't feel that bad about it.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think? No, you love Never Been Kissed, right?
No, this is easily About Time. About Time does not feature a high school teacher that gets disappointed when he learns that the undercover reporter is not 17, but is actually 25.
Yeah.
About Time does not feature David Arquette going back to high school and having a thing with a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah,
Never Been Kissed is terrible. Not even even if it was well acted, maybe it would be okay. I don't think it's even well acted. I think David Arquette sucks in this movie. I think Drew Barrymore. It's a good thing she has other movies on this list, because if this was her only representation, I would feel so sorry for her. I do not like this movie. I think the best part of this movie is everything that happens in the newspaper building. I think that stuff is fantastic. I think John C. Reilly is really good in this movie. I think
John C. Reilly's in this movie? Now I'm going to watch it.
John C. Reilly is in the movie. He's great in that movie. Octavia Spencer in the limited screen time she has is really good. And I believe it's Molly Shannon. She's really good.
Yeah.
That stuff is good. All of the high school stuff sucks. It's clear that it's a time 1999, because you cannot make a movie about a high school teacher falling for a high school student who turns out not to be a high school student and then gets disappointed. I don't know why this movie is beloved. I don't get it. I know I've taken longer than 30 seconds, but I have to rant about it.
You're good.
About Time.
This is what the people came to see.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, right.
How dare you besmirch David Arquette, by the way? That is a former WCW champion you're talking about. All right.
Yeah, right.
He is great in everything else I've seen him in.
Yeah, right.
I don't like him in this movie.
Well, Never Been Kissed has John C. Reilly, but it also has James Franco. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who has 3 lines, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be really young in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of screen time. He just doesn't speak much. Yeah. But
I didn't even mention that the first thing Drew Barrymore does when she gets to high school is she oogles over a high school kid walking in the classroom.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's a little. Well, it just doesn't really hold up, and it's very of its time, and I wouldn't want to vote for a movie with Josie Grossi or whatever they're saying there. That's what they used to call her in high school, I guess. But yeah, Never Been Kissed for me. I think it's fine. I don't really dislike it as much as Jacob does, but About Time's great though. I do kind of wonder how much actual comedy About Time has. I mean, it has some, but I mean, is it enough to be a true rom-com? I'll say yes, just by a little bit, but it is great though. It's a movie that just really hits on a lot of levels. The romance, the time travel stuff's cool, and then the father-son relationship, all that stuff. It just really just gets you in all the feels and stuff. So I'll go with About Time. Yeah. So,
by the way, Jed, if you do want to watch Never Been Kissed, it is on Disney Plus.
Oh, there we go.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
But yeah, if you were to tell me Drew Barrymore was going to have more movies in the championship than Meg Ryan, I would have said your quiz.
I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. Somehow it worked out that way, but
and only one of them made it through.
Yeah, right. Only one, but
Oh,
We have
God.
Roxanne, Steve Martin going up against Chasing Amy.
Ah.
Oh. All right. Well, this time it's Richie first. So
Yeah, well, let's do that. Roxanne's good. But I have more sort of love for Chasing Amy. I think it's sort of one of the more, maybe you forget like even if like James Silent Bob were in this, you wouldn't know that Kevin Smith directed this movie. It's but it's about shown down, but it's just a it's great. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they remade Roxanne just recently. We can't remember what it's called though, but it's pretty bad. But yeah, Rock.
Yeah.
Penelope.
Cyrano.
Oh yeah, Cyrano.
It's Peter Dinklage's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's not the other Nose movie.
No, I swear there's one more in there. I'll find it out before we finish the stream. But there's definitely it's not Serrano. I think it's this movie.
Okay.
Serrano. But I'll go Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy's great.
Maybe it's would be A Knight's Tale. Maybe I'm not sure.
No.
But Jen, what do you think?
I suddenly have background music. Okay, go. Where are we going? Where are we going? We're scrolling.
I was like, is that just me, or is everyone hearing the ad? Like I'm. At least do that.
I feel like I have to sing my answer now.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, this is a
music.
hard. Yeah, this is a hard decision because these were both in part 2. I was a big champion of both because they were on opposite sides of the bracket, and now they're right together in the first round. So this kind of sucks. I love both these films. I would argue that these are 2 of the smartest scripts that we have represented today. So it really hurts to have them both appear at the same time. Roxanne is hilarious. It is one of Steve Martin's best performances, honestly, in my opinion, because it is very sweet while also being very funny and very smart. Chasing Amy, I think, is Ben Affleck's best performance to date. That includes all his directorial work and everything. And yeah, it's not something you would expect from Kevin Smith's filmography. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. And it is just, to this day, it still works fantastically. So it really hurts to knock anything off. But yeah. I'm going to give it to Roxanne for this one just because that is one of my go-to, when it's on, I will put it on. I will sit down and watch it. It's a feel-good movie. So when I think rom-com feel-good movies, I would go for Roxanne. So I'm mad.
So yeah. So just quickly, there's a movie with and it's got Twilight's Boo Boo Stewart and Danny Trejo called #Roxy. It's fucking.
That's what it is.
It's pretty shit.
Well, Roxanne is based off Cyrano de Bergerac, which has been done many, many times. But I would say this is one of the more creative and fun kind of films because it's a cute little microcosm of a town, and it's very storybook kind of feel. And Daryl Hannah in her prime, so yeah.
Yeah, I think they do a similar thing like A Knight's Tale too. That's kind of one too, but
a little bit.
Jacob.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of these movies actually. Yeah, had I had more preparation time to watch instead of 2 days ago when Austin was like, "Hey, I can't be on," maybe I would have gotten to it because I also have Roxanne. It was another one that maybe I was going to get around to, and I can still get around to it. So I think just because I can watch it, I think Chasing Amy isn't available most places to stream.
Yeah.
I'd have to rent it. So just because I don't want to have to pay to watch a movie when I can just pop something in, I will go with Roxanne because
yeah. I think for me, I've seen Roxanne, but it's been a minute since I've seen it. I don't remember a lot about it, but Chasing Amy is great. It's probably in my top 3 Kevin Smith movies. I love Chasing Amy. And it's one that's pretty late to the party on because I wasn't really sure about it. On paper, it just kind of looks like an average kind of movie. It doesn't really look that great, but it's really, really good. And especially shout out to Kevin Smith's speech about the girl that got away and stuff. That's really good. You actually get to hear him speak for a pretty good little bit. And yeah, I think that's great. So I'm going to vote for Chasing Amy. Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chasing Amy actually is the other movie I haven't seen. But Chasing Amy can put on that red light because Roxanne.
Yep. All right. Well, what are the votes, Jacob?
It is
I think it's
3-2 for Roxanne.
Oh, what did I do?
Ooh, for Roxanne. Yep. Roxanne, moving on. Ooh.
No.
Might be an upset. I'm not sure because Steve Martin's pretty.
I'm upset. I'm gonna say it's an upset, and I did it.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's all your fault, Jen. No.
It's all my fault.
I'm sorry, Matt. I know he's watching.
Yeah. But we have Something's Got to Give.
Oh man, this is odd.
Love. Yeah. So, and I believe that's Jen first. So.
I wouldn't be torn either way. I've seen both of these. I enjoy them to a certain extent, but they're not necessarily like something that I go back to a lot. I know there is like a strong faction behind Crazy Stupid Love that I don't quite understand. I think I've never been like a Ryan Gosling person. I don't know what that's about, but I'm a bad woman, I guess. I don't know. But meanwhile, like Something's Got to Give it does have a little bit of a different energy just because of the age bracket that it's shooting for between Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson, or should I say Diane Keaton and Keanu Reeves. So one of these movies has Keanu in it, so I'm going to go with that one. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Also, Crazy Stupid Love has like a really, really bad situation between the babysitter and Steve Carell, so like that's always a little
on the poster.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think here?
I mean, usually I'll vote for anything with Keanu Reeves in it, but I haven't seen it. So it's
Keanu Reeves plays a doctor. It's great.
It was another one that I wanted to get around to seeing because it's available streaming somewhere. I have seen Crazy Stupid Love. I think it is a pretty good movie. I like the performances from everyone involved. So I'll go Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah. I think like Something's Got to Give. Like it's not really a movie. Like it's a movie for like the age bracket, like about 10, 20 years old.
It is a movie.
Me. And movie. But Crazy Stupid Love's great though. I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone whenever they're in anything together. Like it's really solid. And then you got the love triangle between Steve Carell, Marissa Tomei, and Julianne Moore kind of going on. So there's that, and you see just like a lot of like recognizable actors. Kevin Bacon pops up, Joey King. Like there's even like a random Josh Groban cameo, I guess. But Crazy Stupid Love's great. Like I would definitely watch that over Something Got to Give any day. So how about Crazy Stupid Love? Malcolm?
Yeah, I actually watched. I actually just finished watching Something's Got to Give moments before I jumped into the stream.
Oh, nice.
And it's one that I had never seen before. And I thought, and it was it's streaming on New Zealand Netflix. So I thought, well, I'll knock it out and watch it, seeing it's there. And it's actually a really charming movie. It's been a while since I've seen Crazy Stupid Love. But just by here, I'm going to go Something's Got to Give. But both of these movies are in my top 10 of movies that are in this bracket. So
yeah. Well, shout out to Peggy Gubbins PG in the chat. She's going for Crazy Stupid Love by a mile. but Richie, what do you think?
Well, I'm sorry, Peggy, but I really like Something's Gonna Give. I think it's really good. So yeah, and it's I think I'm younger than you, Jordan, and it's I find it also,
yeah, right. Well, appealed to you, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm 32.
Yeah. Yeah, you're younger than me.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, no, I mean, Crazy Stupid Love is great. I mean, Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Isn't I don't know. I don't know if what I'd do if I was in Steve Carell's position, but yeah, Marissa Tomei.
That's a hard choice. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Like, oh god, like
that's
oh,
tough.
she'd be like the hottest woman in Hollywood. Anyway,
Yeah, he's up there.
but
Yeah.
I'll go with Something's Got to Give, but also because of Keanu Reeves. So yeah, Something's Got to Give.
Yeah, someone just clued me into the fact that Marissa Tomei does workout videos now. Somebody posted that. I was like, she does workout
Yeah.
videos? I gotta
I'll be
start
back
doing that
later.
workout. All right. Yeah. But yeah. So what are the votes at, Jacob?
3-2 for Something's Gotta Give.
All right. Someone's gotta
Old
give.
people.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
Also, I'm disappointed.
Nothing wrong with that generation.
I'm disappointed they didn't put Jack and Diane on the soundtrack. Something's got.
I know, right?
Yeah, they should have. I know.
That's the credit song right there. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're teeing you up there. It's like, come on. But we have The Proposal going up against Easy A.
Ooh.
All right. So let's see. Who's up first, Jacob? Do you remember?
I think it's up to Jacob.
It's
It's
Jacob.
me. Yeah, it's me.
You first, okay.
Man, I really enjoy both of these movies. Oh man, it's actually the hardest one so far for me.
Here you go.
Man,
Peggy loves our
Peggy, I don't know what to
bracket
do.
so
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, right.
already we're
Just
more
your
than halfway
randoms.
through.
Yeah. Random matchups and the different panelists. You know, Jen wasn't here for part one, so
Some of my favorites were in part one. They got axed, and I'm like so mad about it.
yeah, yeah,
Notting Hill. Anyway, you know.
Notting Hill.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the movie that I find just a little bit funnier, and that is Easy A. I like the comedy in that more, so that will get my vote.
Yeah, this one's tough. Like, I actually really like both of these ones, but for me, like, I just like for whatever reason, I just like The Proposal. Like, it's one that I go back to, especially Betty White. Just like seeing the sweat drop down my balls, like all that stuff. Like, it's just so good. But and yeah, that's it. And Easy A, it's fine, but yeah, The Proposal for me.
Also, did we have more Ryan Reynolds movies than Meg Ryan movies?
I
in the
think we
bracket?
did. What is
Yeah, I think
happening?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Ryan in there. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Meg Ryan and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
We've also got more Emma Stone than Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Also, is it too late to change my vote for the previous one? So,
Yeah, right.
But anyway, for me, this matchup
late.
is Easy A.
Ah,
That's my vote.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds good.
It was easy, eh?
Yeah, easy.
Oh man, you know.
One of those Canadian movies. Yeah. But Richie?
Yeah. I'll probably go with ETA is a great movie. It's great, like sort of breakout performance from Emma Stone. That could prove she could lead a film. That's great. I think and it's definitely more funnier than Proposal, but I think Proposal is more in the spirit of a rom-com. And you know, I feel like I'm surprised Sandra Bullock didn't. You know, she's also this rom-com queen. It doesn't. You know, it's only appeared once, but I really like The Proposal, so I'm gonna go Proposal.
Yeah, and also shout out to Matt in the comments. I prefer The Proposal starring Finstock and Tiffany Smith.
Throwback.
Moment from
Throwback.
the show.
Oh, right.
Like way back in the day. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. But Jen,
I'm going to disagree with that statement that Easy A is not a classic rom-com because there are so many tropes that they borrow from other classic like 80s rom-com movies. Like that is where the heart of this movie is. And yeah, like The Proposal is sweet and it's fun and it's a very classic. It's not my favorite. I know there's a lot of people that absolutely love it, and particularly it seems to be, there's all these funny characters, particularly Betty White is like the grandmother, but Easy A has Stanley Tucci and Patricia Clarkson being hilarious. So yeah, I want to go with Easy A. Like that is just a fun, different kind of feel of a rom-com set in a high school that is more about the girl's like agency than just silly happenstance of she puts on glasses and she's ugly kind of shit. So yeah, like Easy A is very clever and fun and sweet. So yeah, Easy A.
Yeah, and And it's another one that's based on a classic play. You got the Scarlet Letter. So yeah. So easy A. Moving on. All right.
Another
So,
3-2.
Yeah. And we have Warm Bodies going up against Four Weddings and a Funeral. Kind of.
It's a weird film.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like somebody that's half dead and then going to a funeral where someone is dead. So, and it's me first, right?
Yep.
So I actually lied. There's 2 movies I haven't seen on this bracket. So I haven't seen Four Weddings and a Funeral. I forgot about that one. So, but I have seen the remake to it, but I have not seen the original one. So there's a classic moment too on tournament fights where we're trying to include the original one, but I put the poster for the remake because I had no idea like which one is which because I had not seen the original one. I didn't even know there was an original one. I thought that the remake was the only one, but.
Are you thinking of Falling at a Funeral or Death at a Funeral?
Maybe it's Death at a Funeral.
I think you are. I don't think there.
Maybe
there's
remake to this is a TV show.
Okay,
It was a TV show. I don't know if they ever remade it into a movie.
Well, there's too many funerals. It's one of those funeral ones.
Too many weddings, too many funerals. Move on.
I haven't seen it, so I don't.
Don't worry, Jordan.
I
We'll
have
cut
no
all
idea.
this out in editing, okay?
Yeah.
We'll cut all this out in editing.
Yeah, cut it out in post. Just cut that out. Yeah. But yeah, Warm Bodies though. I can't talk about that because it's a lot of fun. Like it's got a lot of humor and it's a cool twist on a zombie movie. I kind of make it into a bit of a rom-com. So I'll vote Warm Bodies. Yeah. Malcolm.
Honestly, you could probably do a tournament fights of movies that feature wedding and funeral in the title.
Yeah, right. Yes, there's a lot.
But I mean,
We have like 4 just in this bracket.
yeah, like as I said before, Richard Curtis is great when it comes to writing rom-coms. And I would argue that both Love Actually and Notting Hill should have made it into here. But I mean, I do like Warm Bodies. I think it's one of those ones that I didn't expect to enjoy. But I really love Forgiveness and Funeral. It's just one that I go back to a lot. And yeah.
Well, it's pretty back and forth in the chat. We got Matt going 4 weddings. We got Peggy going for a Warm Body. So we'll see. But
split decision.
yeah, right. But
So
Richie,
either way I go, I'm going to annoy somebody. Cool. No, I shouldn't mention. I admit this, but I had to watch Warmed Up Bodies twice because after I watched it the first time, I was really high on pop brownies and I took too much. It wasn't a good time. I was like, I don't remember watching that movie, so I had to watch it again, and it's a good movie.
nice.
It's a fun movie. I think it's a good sort of. I don't know if it's a breakout for Nicholas Hoult. I would say his breakout probably Fury Road, but like it's still like he can prove that he's really good in movies. But yeah, 14 is a Funeral's a classic. I really enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy this movie a lot. Quintessential Hugh Grant. And he, after this, he played the same character for a long time. But I will say, 4 weddings.
Yeah. Jen.
Yeah, as I said before, I'm not the biggest Hugh Grant fan, and this is like his main vehicle, other than Notting Hill, which didn't make the cut. That would be a lot easier to vote for that
Somehow.
But for Wedding at the Funeral, I feel
Julia
like
Roberts here. No.
there's what are we doing? What are we doing here?
That's what happens when you have a bunch of guys on the panel.
Yep. Sure.
They don't know what
Anyway.
they're talking about half the time.
I feel like 4 Weddings and a Funeral was a little overhyped for me because it does tend to like make its way onto a lot of these kind of best rom-com lists, and this is one of the more British era of comedy, of drier, a little more subdued. and it didn't quite click with me as some others have. I'm a fan of dry humor, but this one in particular, I think it's because I'm not a big Hugh Grant fan. Love Andie MacDowell, and she is absolutely gorgeous in this. But it was actually, I think the one character that I did connect with was John Hannah, aka Jonathan from the Mummy series, is in this film, and I did really like his character in there. But meanwhile, Warm Bodies, I think trumps Twilight for the teen romance of a girl falling in love with a cold dead guy. So yeah, Warm Bodies, it didn't deserve to be as sweet as it actually is, and I found myself really falling for it when I watched it. So I think I'm gonna give it to Warm Bodies, which feels really weird. I think this kind of happened in part 2 as well, of Warm Bodies was on that weaker side, and it was just one of those little dark horses that kind of pushed its way through. But I don't feel bad about it, because I particularly loved Rob Corddry's role in this. He was very sweet. I'm used to seeing like his wacky antics, and he was actually a really sweet role in this. So
yeah, and also Stephen in the chat pointing at that one.
Yes.
The best you've ever
she is a stone cold bitch in that, but she's great.
Yeah. So that's like 6 wedding movies so far, something like that. Yeah. but Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, it's tied, and I get to decide. And I haven't seen either of these movies.
Oh, get the tiebreaker, even though you haven't seen.
But you know what? We're talking rom-coms. Let's push a zombie movie into the next round.
Yes.
Yeah. We love chaos here in tournament fights, so why not?
I think that makes 2 supernatural rom-coms that have made it to the second round. So there you go.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, Nicholas Holt's breakout performance was in About a Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, guess what? Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
Yep. But we have the What If going up against Hitch.
Oh.
Okay. So let's see. I believe Malcolm is up first.
Yeah, I really love What If. I think the animations. Oh wait, we're not talking about that. What If?
Yeah, right.
Wrong with if. Wrong with if.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the movie What If.
Where's Captain Britain?
That's known for some countries, the F word. But yeah, I mean, I like both these movies. But honestly, if I'm going to go for what I want to watch right now, I'm going to select Will Smith out of here and go for What If.
Yeah. There it is. Yep.
Oh man.
From the chat too. Yeah. This is a slap joke.
Thanks for not being a hack, Matt. That was good.
Yeah. This sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that What If existed until like 5 seconds ago. I'm intrigued. I like the cast. Is Zoe Kazan? She from The Big Sig? Is that the same person?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
I really like. Well, yeah, I really like her, and you can make an argument that should be on there, but maybe it's not. It's not tricky.
I tried so hard to get that through, and I was very upset when it didn't make it.
Yeah, because that movie is amazing.
It's fantastic.
It's because, but I'm intrigued, and I love Daniel Radcliffe as well. I think he makes very interesting film choices, and that's not a negative thing. I just think he's had a very interesting career. But I'll go Hitch because I think it's a charming movie, and probably one of the more accessible movies. Performances by Kevin James. I think he's actually pretty good in this, which I don't say that often. But yeah, so Hitch.
I mean, Kevin James is really good on that horror movie Becky. I think it's
Becky. He plays a Nazi.
Oh yeah. Nice. I haven't seen that one. I got to check it out. But Jen, what do you think?
That's a great compliment. He plays a really good Nazi. That's what you want to hear. Yeah, like I agree. I have a lot of love for Daniel Radcliffe, and he continues to just make choice after choice that is just so off the wall. It's like, what will he do next? He's just trying to keep you guessing at all times. I can't wait to see him as Weird Al.
Yep.
What If is fun. It has a young Adam Driver in there. It's really sweet. It's not particularly memorable for me though. I need to sit down and watch it again, honestly. I remember enjoying it at the time, but I could not tell you a lot of details about it. Meanwhile, Hitch is a classic. Whether you have strong opinions about Will Smith or not right now, you can't deny that Hitch, like, there's just something about it. Like, this is one of those perfect little vehicles for Will Smith to just show his natural charisma. I think he plays off Kevin James so well. Same with Eva Mendes. This is one of the few times where you really get to see her like let loose as a comedic actress and stuff. So it's really fun. I really hope the sequel sometime happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore, even though it was already like a long shot to begin with. But yeah, but to this day, like Hitch is still one of those just feel good movies. And I think it does tend to cross a lot of brackets in terms of people that enjoy it. So it's one of those ones that both the guy and girl can sit down together and enjoy it. So that's something you look for in a rom-com. So Hitch.
Yeah. And Steven Shepard's asking, doesn't Will Smith slap?
He does.
He does.
Right? Yep. So
Get out.
slap. Yep.
But that one was scripted and warranted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Well, depending on who you ask about the Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscars. It might be. Yeah. But Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I like Hitch. I think it's good. But I think What If is better for me personally. I think Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan are great together. I think Adam Driver is hilarious in this movie.
So good.
It's one that I just saw for the first time like sometime last year, and I wasn't even looking for it. I was like scrolling through Amazon Prime, and I was like, look, it's Daniel Radcliffe, because I am interested like whatever he does, because he like since Harry Potter, I don't think he's like done very similar performances in like anything. Like he's done this, and then he'll do Guns Akimbo, where he has guns.
Yeah.
And he can't even. Okay,
Swiss Army Man.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you see me too. Like he's all over the map.
The Lost
Yeah.
City.
Lost City.
Yep.
This is probably like the most normal character he's played, and I think it's great. I will go with What If.
Yeah. This one's tough for me. Like I don't want to piss my sister off because she's like Hitch better make it into like the final four. It's one of her favorite rom-coms of all time. But like What If does is actually pretty good. Like I actually watched it for the first time yesterday. So I'm pretty fresh on it, and Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan, they have some pretty good chemistry. Even Mackenzie Davis, she's pretty good in this. And then Adam Driver, he's hilarious, just popping up with these random lines that he said. And then even Daniel Radcliffe, like he does comedy pretty well. There's a scene where they go out swimming in the ocean naked, and then their friends steal all their clothes. And he has some kind of line because they find a sleeping bag, so she gets a sleeping bag. They're just supposed to be friends, and then he's like. She's getting pissed off because someone stole her clothes. But it's like, you're sitting here pissed off. You're the one with the sleeping bag. I'm the one sitting here with my dick hanging out, freezing, because you got a wind chill factor here that's freezing my dick to death, whatever. He's so good. Like, he just has those like pretty funny lines. And so I think just by a little bit, I got to go What If, I think. So.
All right.
But despite that, I still think that it's Hitch, right?
No. It is 3-2.
What If?
Malcolm, what did you vote for?
I voted for What If.
Okay, so 3-2 for What If.
Yeah. All right, 3-2.
Yeah.
There you go.
I never would have called that.
Yeah, right? No, never. Especially
Daniel Radcliffe does a lot.
You're all getting slapped. I don't care. What are we doing?
Especially since Richie, like you just heard of this movie, like literally just now.
Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe does a lot of Australian films as well. So I mean, like for some reason, he's got this fascination with Australia. So I would recommend, if you can find it, check out Jungle and Escape from Pretoria. They're really
Jungle is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Have to check it out. But that's the end of the first round, so we're doing pretty good.
Way to put a heartbreaker in the last.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
Yeah, right.
God.
My heart's fine.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
This is wacky, isn't it?
Wacky.
It's just so funny because there's that story going around right now of the article where they didn't put anything before the 80s in the rom-com list. And guess what? We have one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we have one here. So, but maybe we can get it through to the next one. We'll see. But we have 10 Things I Hate About You going up against My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So it's not going to be easy. Is it me first?
I think it might
No,
be.
it's Richie.
I
It's me.
first on
That's
the
Richie,
last
okay.
one, so it's Richie.
It's
Okay,
me. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Richie, okay.
Just because I think there's more emphasis on the comedy, I'll go My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jen?
This hurts. I love both of these. There's strong love for both of these. They have a lot of factions behind them. It hurts because 10 Things I Hate About You, like rest in peace, Heath Ledger. It has one of my favorite all-time just like musical rom-com moments when he sings the "You're Just Too Good to Be True" with the marching band. It's so sweet and it's so cute, and this is a very clever adaptation for Shakespeare, which was all the rage at the time. Haven't done it in a while. It's probably coming back around. But My Big Fat Greek Wedding was just like, it's just one of those nice little success stories of like Nia Vardalos. Like this is her baby all the way of like, she wrote it, kept getting rejected, made it into a play. It was seen by the right people. And they're like, why isn't this a movie? And she's like, I've been trying. So it's nice to like see that like, it just really was a passion project all the way through. So I got to give it to My Big Fat Greek Wedding, but I wouldn't hate seeing 10 Things go through either.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jacob?
I'm gonna go with 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah. You say you haven't seen Big Fat Greek Wedding, or have you?
No, I have.
Okay, you have seen that. Sounds good. Yeah, for me, 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite rom-coms. It's one of those movies based on a Shakespeare play, Taming of the Shrew. So, yeah, and I really like Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles. They got great chemistry. And then you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I always forget the other girl, like Larissa Olenek or whatever. Bianca
No
is
idea.
who she plays, but
Bianca.
yeah. Yeah. So, it's a great rom-com, and it's one that I think kind of holds up for me. I don't know if it would hold up for everyone because it's definitely a product of its time as far as the music and like all the styles go. But I think that it still works though. So I'm gonna vote for 10 Things I Hate About You. Malcolm?
But yeah, it was Larissa Olenek.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is easy for me. I think 10 Things I Hate About You is fine. It's just one I don't go back to as much as I do. My Big Fat Greek Wedding is amazing, so I'm gonna go Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie?
I already voted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 3-2 for My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Woo.
Okay. Yeah, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think still the highest grossing independent movie of all time. I think that's right.
Yeah,
So,
I don't understand.
I think it still holds the record. It's hard to tell nowadays.
You can fact check me on that if you want, but it's up there. But
Check for inflation. Yeah.
Yeah. But we have Crazy Rich Asians going up against Bridget Jones's Diary. So, Jen, you're up.
Of
first.
course it is. Okay, clearly the left side is the strong side once again. A lot of my favorites are over here.
Yeah.
This is really tough. I think I'm gonna give it to Bridget Jones just because, as much as I love Crazy Rich Asians, it is fantastic. I am so glad it exists, and I can't wait to see them continue the series because it's a book series. There's multiple ones. The thing is, with Crazy Rich Asians, it's not really breaking any new ground in terms of plot. It is pretty much like there's no real big surprises in there. Having said that, what they do, they just perfect it. And that's why it's so successful, along with the cast being just like magnanimous and like, oh my God, look at them. They're so cute. But Bridget Jones is very different in the way that it was treating a female lead, particularly for a rom-com. And yeah, it's spawned multiple sequels for reasons. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Bridget Jones. But again, wouldn't be upset to see Crazy Rich Asians go through.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, well, since the first round, I still have not seen Bridget Jones' Diary.
What are you doing? Wasting time.
I'm pretty sure I could have seen most of it because I don't think it's that
Get your life
long,
together.
is
It's
it?
pretty
Like,
short.
So I probably could have, but I can't multitask and watch two things at the same time. I'd miss something. I'm like, hey, why are they doing that now? So I'll go with Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. Well, I'm still not a big fan of Bridget Jones's Diary. My opinion has not changed, and I didn't vote for either one of these last time, but they made it through. So I am gonna vote for Crazy Rich Asians. I do think it's a little cookie cutter, except for the cast. I really like seeing all those pretty recognizable Asian actors, and then being introduced to some new ones too, and also too one of the scenes I really like when they're dancing to "Can't Help Falling in Love." That's kind of a sweet moment. So yeah, I will vote Crazy Rich Asians. Malcolm.
Yeah. Bridget Jones' Diary is 96 minutes, so you would have been well into at least over an hour and 10 or so since we got to it last. It's a sequel to Crazy Rich Asians, Crazy Rich Asians.
I think it is actually.
It's either Crazier Rich Asians or Crazy Richer Asians. It's one of the two.
But that being said, this is
Crazy Rich Asians, Electric Boogaloo. Don't forget that one.
But that being said, I do love both these movies, but I'm sticking with Bridget Jones' Diary on this. I think Bridget Jones is great, so yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Richie?
much love to Crazy Rich Asians. I'm sorry, Ronnie Chang, you're gonna call me racist, but I'm gonna.
He's gonna call you.
Yeah, right.
I'm not opening for him anymore.
You're never opening for him again.
Yeah, no. He'll make sure I'm not booked. I'll try to do gigs in America. He'll make sure I'm not booked. But I'll go Bridget Jones. I think it's just a more accessible movie to me. I think it still holds up. It's a great movie. So Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
So the sequel to the book, to Crazy Rich Asians, is called China Rich Girlfriend, and then the third one, and then the third one is just Rich People Problems.
Interesting. So maybe you transition to China, and then I don't know, maybe just white.
I'm calling it right now. When they finally make the sequel, though, they're not going to do that because that's not marketing. So it's either going to be Crazier Rich Asians or Crazy Rich Asians 2. That's what it's going to do. And because Hollywood is terrible, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 is like Chopsticks, because that's just how they do it.
Yeah, right. Well, it made a ton of money, so I imagine there's going to be a sequel.
Oh yeah, it's definitely happening. Yeah.
I mean, it'll probably be Crazy Rich Asians 2, but the title of the book will be the subtitle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But Bridget Jones's Diary. Moving on. So we have The Graduate going up against Definitely Maybe. Okay. All right. Let's see. Jacob, right?
Yeah, it's me.
Whenever it's an easy choice for me, I go last. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah, right. You go last on the easy ones.
Yeah. Again, I haven't seen either of these movies since we started.
What are you doing? Okay, you've had time.
I don't have that many. I don't have that many screens. Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't the Best Buy I'm in.
Yeah, right.
Where's Michael
Stereo
McDonald?
Shop, on 40-year-old version. Yeah, Michael McDonald. Yeah.
I don't have picture-in-picture. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna Definitely Maybe. Sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough because, like I said, I really loved Definitely Maybe when it first came up, but then on a rewatch, it kind of went a notch down for me, but not a lot down, just a slight little bit. But so I think I'll actually vote for The Graduate this time because Dustin Hoffman, he's great, and it's our only pre 90s one on the list. So,
And you've seen it?
Besides When Harry Met Sally, I guess we have 2. So yeah, but yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've actually seen an old movie, believe it or not.
He did it.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so The Graduate. Malcolm?
We're going to start a GoFundMe to get Jacob Barber more screens in his house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I love both these movies, but Graduate is classic, so I'm gonna go The Graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, purely because we don't have a lot of representation in that era. We've got sort of more 2000s, 90s movies. So I'll throw some love to The Graduate as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Jen?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Maybe I shared that I don't have a ton of love for this film. I think it was a dark horse just making it to the championship. So good on you, definitely. Maybe, but The Graduate
Yeah.
belongs here. So yeah, absolutely, The Graduate.
Yeah, The Graduate it is. Moving
I
on,
want,
Mrs.
I want to change
Robinson.
my vote.
Yeah, yeah, right. Too late, but
It's never,
we're moving
it's
on.
never too
Oh
late.
God.
Yeah,
Oh,
when The
God.
Wedding Singer versus When Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
Oh,
Fuck off.
really? Oh, yeah, serious. It's like,
Yes.
why you gotta do me like that? And I think I gotta go first, right?
You do.
Oh man, this is like one of the few ones that's like legitimately hard for me. Man, I know the one. I can vote with my heart or with my head because I know which one that my heart wants to vote for, but then there's one that I think is probably clearly a little better, but I got to go with my heart here, and I got to vote The Wedding Singer just because I'm just a huge Adam Sandler fan, and like this is the best with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. So yeah, I got to go with The Wedding Singer. So Malcolm,
Yeah, this is tough. When I rank these, one of these movies is at 3, the other is at 5.
oh, that's close.
So I'm gonna have to say so because I think this is the last Drew Barrymore one that actually made it out of round 1. So I'm gonna have to say I'm sorry, Drew Barrymore, but When Harry Met Sally is better. So I'm gonna go When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, I recognize it's probably the better movie. Yeah, but Richie.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably nostalgia talking, like, in the fact it's more sort of, I have more memories watching Wedding Singer, it just hit me at the right time, and I was a huge Adam Sandler fan, so I don't mind if Harry Met Sally moves forward, but I'll vote for The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, The Wedding Singer for me is one of the few movies I can actually get a few Adam Sandler movies I can get my dad to sit down and watch because he hates Adam Sandler, but he loves The Wedding Singer, so he'll watch that with me. So, but Jen, what do you think?
I'm so mad right now. I simultaneously like hate and love The Left Side. Okay, like
Yeah.
this is so mean.
Sure.
Okay, like these
Left
two
Side.
belong in at least the semifinals. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love The Wedding Singer. I quote it on like regularly. It is a very adorable, perfect little movie that really encapsulates all of Adam Sandler's love for the 80s, and it's his sweetest performance to date. I agree. I would think for Drew too. They're just perfect together with this movie. But When Harry Met Sally is a juggernaut. It is fantastic. It is one of those really encompasses the entire length of a relationship and the kind of ups and downs and more reality of what you actually go through. Wedding Singer makes you feel good, but When Harry Met Sally really teaches you stuff. And also, like, Wedding Singer has a lot of singing. So does When Harry Met Sally. There's an adorable scene where they sing "Sorry with the Fringe on Top" in a karaoke bar, and they run into an ex, and it's my favorite scene in the entire film. I absolutely love it, and only one of these films has Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
Harry Met
that's
Sally.
true.
So.
Yeah. Yep. Even Peggy, she said.
Thank you, Peggy.
It should be a Final Four matchup, like honestly. But Jacob, you get
Jacob
the
has to decide.
So what are you gonna do?
I do get the tiebreaker.
Do it for Carrie Fisher.
And guess
Carrie
what?
Fisher would have been a Wedding Singer if she was asked to be in it.
Nora Ephron needs to make it to another round.
I don't know. Unless you have nostalgia.
Guess what, guys? Since the first round, I still haven't seen When Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
So
Uh-oh.
I recognize that we're probably going to irritate a lot of people when the poll
It's
goes
too late
up.
for that. They're already mad. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're going to
Poll goes
irritate
up.
them even more when we put the poll up and when
Yep.
Harry Met Sally is not in it.
It's not
Because
there. Yeah.
I usually am okay for voting for movies I haven't seen if they're going up against movies that I don't like.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed The Wedding Singer, and I'm actually looking forward to watching it again. So
Yeah.
I will go The Wedding Singer. But again, once I finally watch When Harry Met Sally, I'll come back and say, hey, I think I was wrong.
Somebody kill me, please.
That seems
Damn
like an
you.
overreaction.
Yeah,
Damn you, randomizer.
we've still got a few minutes left. Don't die yet.
You got a
Just
long
wait
life
till
ahead of you,
after the
Jen, and we won't
tournament.
kill you, man. Yeah.
Hey,
Bit-
Helena,
bit-
you
yeah.
cool bitch.
Bit sorry, Big Ryan.
Yep. All right. Well, we got 13 going on 30.
You could just like erase this entire side and you already
Yeah,
have your
right.
final four over there. Like, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, right. You can go with what's on the left side, yeah. But Malcolm, you're up first here.
I'm going to go for 30 going on 30. I like 40-year-old virgin, but 30 going on 30 is top 5 for me.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, anything?
Kelly Clarkson, 40 on it.
Yeah, yeah. Jen?
13 going on 30 is very sweet, and this is one of those nice cases for Mark Ruffalo can do no wrong. Like, he's actually really good in rom-coms between this and what didn't make it past part 2 of him and Reese Witherspoon of Just Like Heaven. I do enjoy that film as well. I think he should do more rom-coms. He's a good romantic lead. But 40-Year-Old Virgin, I think, is a far more complex and interesting movie, so I'm going to go with 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. Jacob, what do you think?
I'm going to go 13 going on 30.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, I'm just kind of lukewarm on 13 going on 30. Like, I don't really love it, but I love the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think that's great. So I gotta go 40-Year-Old Virgin. So, what are the votes at?
3-2 for 40-year-old virgin.
All right, 40-Year-Old Virgin it is. Moving on, it's a heavy favorite on tournament fights. So, let's see, but
It can't win this one, okay? Come on.
Yeah, right. We'll see. You never know. That crazy things have happened. I mean, yeah, we had Die Hard 2 as the best Christmas movie of all time. So I mean, come on.
Die Hard
Okay.
2?
Yeah.
Okay,
Two?
but
Not Die Hard 1,
After-
Die Hard 2.
that was right.
Two?
Yeah,
To
that was
be-
a crazy episode.
to be
like
fair,
silent.
after the first round, that entire episode just went straight.
Yeah, that was
We went,
fun.
we went off the rails. And we had Silent Night, Deadly Night
Silent
Part
Night, Deadly
2.
Night 2
on
made it
there,
really
and
fun.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, like Home Alone 3 is weird. But
I would much rather Home Alone 3 than Die Hard 2, but that's just me.
yeah, right. But we have About Time going up against Roxanne, so I mean those are pretty good right there. So, and we start with Richie.
Well, I'm not like emotionally attached that much to these movies, but then this is purely a spite vote because it knocked out Chasing Amy, so I'm gonna go About Time.
Yeah, sounds good.
I thought you were going to say it's a spy vote because it knocked out Never Been Kissed, and we were going
Yeah,
to have
yeah,
words.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
gonna have some words.
I could have said that. I
Fire.
wanted to get another trigger, another Jacob rant.
Yeah. You're about to make Jacob triggered. Yeah, but
My
Jen.
left.
Yeah.
One of these makes me smile nonstop, and the other one makes me cry my eyes out. The thing that I like most about Time is the relationship between Donald Gleason and Bill Nighy. So I'm gonna go Roxanne just because the rom-com element, even though it's there in About Time, is not my main focus. So I'm gonna go Roxanne.
Yep. Jacob.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but since the first round,
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Roxanne.
Stop! I've heard it. I've already heard it.
I'm gonna go with About Time.
Yeah. For me, I think just because it's been so long since I've seen it, Roxanne, like I just don't remember a whole lot about it. I need to go back and give it a rewatch. So I probably got to go for About Time, even though I think that's kind of less of a rom-com than a lot of these other ones. I'll still vote About Time because it's great. So, Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with like British rom-coms, especially a lot of the comedy elements is more subtle than what it is in comedy, where they in American rom-coms where they just click fit in the face of the comedy.
Yeah.
But that being said, Roxanne, you can put on that red light because About Time moves on.
Yep. There it is again. Yep. Richie.
I voted. I voted.
You went
for
first.
Yeah, About Time.
Okay.
wins.
What's it? Okay. It's
About Time.
All
4-1.
Y'all
About
knocked
Time.
Fred Willard off the bracket. I hope you're happy.
Oh man,
R.I.P. Fred
it's a
Willard.
shame because he is a national treasure.
I didn't even know he was on the bracket.
Yeah.
He's in Roxanne and he's great.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Fred.
Yep. But
I mean,
we.
I know. I mean, sorry, Heath Ledger, sorry, Carrie Fisher.
Yep. Knocking them all the great ones that have passed.
Just not. We're just not respecting dead people here, guys.
Yeah.
No. But we have Something's Got to Give going up against Easy A. And it's Jen first.
I do enjoy both of these. I think they're interesting scripts. They're a little bit different than everything else around it. But I think between the one I enjoy more, I'm going to go for Easy A. I think it's just Emma Stone. Like, this is why she's a star now, honestly. So, yeah, I'm going to go Easy A.
Yeah.
Oh, but I voted against Keanu. What am I doing?
Yeah. True. But Jacob?
I won't say it this time. I'll just vote for Easy A.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Easy A. I am not big on Something's Got to Give, so Easy A. Malcolm?
Easy A has already moved on, so I'm going to give some other Something's Got to Give.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richie?
Yeah, man. Respect your elders. I'm gonna go something.
Yeah. Well, a little respect, but
God,
Not
we
enough
knocked out
respect.
Diane Keaton,
Yeah.
too. Oh,
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Yeah, but Emma Stone is still there.
Yeah. He's like the next generation's Diane Keaton.
Sure.
I've never
Sure.
heard of that.
Sure, if you want to say that. Yeah.
La-di-da.
I think Emma Stone. I think of Diane Keaton. That's definitely.
Yeah. But we got Warm Bodies up against What If.
This is a win.
Yeah.
I hate the right side.
They're like similar posters too.
Well,
So yeah, but Jacob, right? I think you're first.
Yeah, it's me. And I was so ready to get a zombie movie into the poll, into the Elite Eight of the Rom Com Championship, but I really enjoy What If, and so it will get my vote.
Yeah, like this one's tough for me because like I actually really liked it, and they're both two movies. I'm surprised how much I actually like them. Like I didn't really think that I really would that much when I watched both of these. So, man, I actually think that I got to go with What If. Yeah, that movie, which is really good. So yeah, What If. Malcolm.
Yeah, this is actually tough for me, but I mean, regardless, there's probably going to be a lot of efforts in the poll.
Yeah.
When it gets put up. So, what is another one? So I'm going to go What If.
Yeah. All right. Well, Richie.
I don't know if you know this, but I still haven't seen What If since we last talked about it. So
I didn't know that.
You're so funny, Richie.
these will get paid to be funny. Shut up. Anyway,
Well, I mean, technically, so do I, because I work at a daycare and the kids laugh at me. That's part of the job. So.
fair enough.
They laugh at you or do they laugh with you?
They're
No.
You make a fart noise. It works every time.
really,
Yeah.
I haven't really cornered that market, so
Hey, stay out.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is weird. I'm gonna go Warm Bodies.
Yeah. Well,
Do your
Jen,
thing, I'll do my thing.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore, but I'm gonna go
Yep.
Warm Bodies. What if
it
it's
doesn't
just-
matter what you think.
It doesn't matter, but I would say zombies over Daniel Radcliffe, which was a dead body in another movie. But yeah, it doesn't matter because it's what if.
Yeah. What if it is? All right.
I'm
So,
determined to get it through to the championship now.
Yeah. So these are our Elite Eight. So because it's a smaller bracket,
my
so the Elite
God.
Eight are already there. So that's it. So we're shooting
This
for the
is
final
great.
four here.
We know our rom-coms, guys.
Yeah, right. yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely.
No
Hey,
one's gonna
how-
have any problem with any of these.
I'm
No,
hoping
We
but-
have our finger on the romantic pulse.
Yeah. All right. So we got My Big Fat Greek Wedding going up against Bridget Jones's Diary.
Oh,
What's our final four going to look like? I'm a little nervous.
My big
So-
fat Bridget Jones diary.
yeah. Well,
Crossover.
so it's me first, right?
It
And
is.
I don't really care for either of these movies, so it's like both of these I would have gone with what they went up against, but probably I'll vote for My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I probably would rather watch that a little more. So, Malcolm,
this is tough for me because I love both of these movies. I'm going to have to give the slight edge to My Big Fat Greek Wedding. After rewatching it yesterday, just got a lot of charm to it.
yeah, sounds good. Richie,
I'll go Bridget Jones.
yeah, Jen,
I'm so mad. Like the left side, this is the final four to me. I don't care about the right
Yeah.
side at all anymore.
yeah,
I'm going to give the slightest of edges to Big Fat Greek Wedding, just because that movie, it's all about love. Like Bridget Jones, it's a nice little exploration of what it's like to feel like you're never gonna get love. But My Big Fat Greek Wedding, when I think rom-coms, I think you want those happy, bubbly feelings, and that's what you get with My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So I'm gonna go there.
yeah.
But I wouldn't be upset
Sounds good.
either way.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think?
I didn't expect to laugh out loud as I did. Like when she's working in the travel agency and she's got the headset on and she just like falls. Like laughed harder than I thought I would. Like it's something that doesn't seem that funny, but it was hilarious. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because like it's something you see a lot in movies, but I just
Yep.
yeah.
Slapstick.
Anyway, I say that, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding is going to get my vote as well.
Yeah. Well, My Big Fat Greek Wedding in the final four.
And,
So-
and actually, I just realised we do have a Tom Hanks movie on the poll. He produced My Big Fat Greek
We
Wedding.
did it.
I produced it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Austin will be happy because I know he's a huge fan of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, so we'll have that in there for him. But we have The Graduate going against The Wedding Singer.
Come on.
Oh man, yeah, this is the final four. You're right, Jen. Over on this side, but yeah. So Malcolm, you're up first. Yeah.
You know what? Just because the wedding singer when Harry met Sally, I'm gonna go with The Graduate.
Sounds good. Richie?
Love Stewart. Winning set.
Yeah. Jen?
Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna use the same argument that Malcolm did, but flip it. Of Wedding Singer had the harder route of going past when Harry Met Sally, so I'm gonna go Wedding Singer.
Yeah, sure. Jacob?
I will also go Wedding Singer.
Yep. And I want to grow old with you. I'm gonna go with The Wedding Singer.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Aww.
yep.
Oh, it's a quote from the
You're welcome,
Devin.
Jacob.
Devin.
Yeah, that was all for you.
That
Yeah.
was weird.
No. Awkward. But anyways, I'm moving to the other side. We got the 40-year-old
Yeah.
virgin.
How about that version, guys?
Yeah. How about the virgin and those time travelers? About time. So it is Richie. You're up first.
Yeah. technically they're both about time. He's 40 years
Sure.
old and still a virgin. When will he lose it? No. It's hard because About Time is a more traditional romantic comedy kind of thing. But 40-Year-Old Virgin is just like so goddamn funny. I'm gonna go 40-Year-Old Virgin, but I won't be mad if About Time makes it.
Yeah. Jen?
Oh, yeah, I didn't vote for About Time last time, so I'm not going to vote for it again here. 40-Year-Old Virgin, I think, is a nice. It's more heavy on the comedy, but there's still a lot of romance to it that's really sweet. So I'm going to go 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jacob?
I will vote for what I think is the better movie. I think it's just a better movie overall. About Time.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the one that I think that has more of the rom-com feel to it, and I think that's the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think that like Steve Carell and Captain Keener, they kind of bring the rom-comness to it for me. So yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin. So sounds like it. Did you vote, Malcolm? I forget.
I haven't voted yet.
Okay, what do you think?
But me and Jacob are voting for the correct movie. It's About Time, but 40-Year-Old Virgin moves on.
Yep.
Well, I think we should. I think we should nix Jordan's vote because he wanted to skip you.
Well, I almost did, but then remember to ask first before I just move on.
But then it would be a tie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
And we go to tiebreaker rules, which starts at the bottom.
Yeah. True. Starts at the bottom, but not today. Let's see. We still got Easy A going up against What If.
Jordan, I know how you feel now.
This has gotten away from me so fast.
Yeah, right.
All of a sudden, I hate this and I don't want to be here.
Well, yeah. Well, you're up first, Jen. So.
I continue to not quite understand the love for What If, so I'm gonna go Easy A again. Clearly, I need to rewatch this movie. I don't know.
Rewatch it. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Got a solid cast. But Jacob?
I'm gonna go What If. I just have more fun watching it.
Yeah, and I think that like What If kind of had that like easy path. I feel like it's one of those easy corners, so I gotta go with What If too. I like it better than Easy A. So
the easy path. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's comedy right there. Richie, use that.
Comedy. Yeah.
I got to get a pen. Hang on.
Yeah. Drop that one.
But yeah, I love What If, but I love Easy A more, so Easy A gets my vote.
Yeah. Well, Richie, you got the tiebreaker, so
make the right choice, Richie.
What if it made it, right? What if that happened? We're not going to find out. We're not going to find out because Easy A is going through.
Okay. Easy.
Wait, you mean since the first round you still haven't seen it?
I know. I need more screens.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I feel your pain, Richie, and how you feel.
Yeah. All right. So we got our final four, which is kind of an interesting one.
Oh man.
Zoom out here a little bit. There we go. So we got our final four. So the first side will be a Big Fat Greek Wedding up against Wedding Singer. So just more of those wedding movies that are just never ending. But Jen, you're up
this
first.
Is the real final to me. I honestly, I was coming into this when like just you first like posed the question of like best rom-coms. One of these came to mind immediately. I do enjoy these both probably equally in terms of how many times I've watched them and how much joy I get from them. One of them, I own the soundtrack and I really do enjoy it. But my Big Fat Greek Wedding, it was just such a little phenomenon of like, I remember at the time it built such word of mouth from going to this tiny little film to like something that everyone enjoyed. And it's just really sweet. And to this day, it makes me smile. And I still quote it to this day. Like I do quote a lot of it. You can't look at a bottle of Windex and not think of it. So
Yeah.
again, I wouldn't be upset because Wedding Singer by far is the best Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler mashup. It is the best rom-com that Adam Sandler has done. But the slightest emergence, My Big Fat Greek Wedding is the one.
Sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
Ooh, yeah, no, this one is tough. Both movies I just recently watched for the first time. Man, I guess it just for me personally it goes back to which one would I want to revisit first, and I think the one I would want to revisit first is The Wedding Singer.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm just not a huge My Big Fat Greek Wedding fan. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't like hate it or anything. I think it's fine. But I mean, I'm a big Adam Sandler fan, and The Wedding Singer's up there, probably like top 5 Adam Sandler movies for me. So I got to go with The Wedding Singer. So, Malcolm.
When Harry Met Sally.
That is incorrect.
No, I mean, I do love these ones. I'm going to go by Big Fat Greek Wedding though, because the Wedding Singer took out When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah. Well, Richie, you get the tiebreaker again. So, what's it gonna be?
Serious, Malcolm, you put me in this position. Fucking Kiwi. Anyway, anyway. Anyway, it's look, the Big Fat Greek Wedding is great. It's it still doesn't have Billy Idol in it, so I'm gonna go Wedding Singer.
Ooh, Wedding Singer it is.
It's got John Lovitz, damn it.
Yeah. Right. John Lovitz. Yeah.
Oh God.
Which I saw him once at a comedy show. He was not very good. I think he was just having like a really bad day. Like his jokes were not hitting.
You saw him
like,
bomb? Awesome.
Yes, I saw him bomb. Like he bombed big time. And is that a crowd of not very many people too, so it's even more awkward because it's at an Indian casino where I saw him. So it was just like really weird. Yeah.
Well, John Lovett's only really. I mean, I know he's got his comedy club and stuff, but he only really started stand up like after he got famous. Like he hasn't done like comedy for that long actually. Considering.
Yeah. Well, Jacob says skip him for now. He had to jump for a minute, so we'll go with me. Maybe he'll make it back by the end of this round. We'll see. But this one's easy.
He's ashamed of the picks. He just didn't want to be responsible.
Yeah, he's ashamed. Yeah, because like honestly, I don't know what Easy A is doing here in the final 4 of best rom-coms. Honestly, but that's just me. But the 40-Year-Old Virgin, I think it's a solid pick. So I mean, it's I do think that's a lot higher on the comedy than the romance, but the romance is there. So I got to go with 40-Year-Old Virgin. So. Malcolm, what do you think?
Easy A is in the final 4 for a reason. It's good. I'm gonna go Easy A.
It's good. I don't know. I wonder how it stacks up against the great like rom-coms. But Richie?
God damn it. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. Jen?
I'm going to do a strategic vote here because for part 2, I know what won. And I cannot let that happen again today. So I'm going to vote Easy A. And Jacob isn't back. So the tiebreaker goes down to my buddy down there.
He just wrote in the chat, Easy A.
Malcolm, come back.
I'm still here.
We voted in the chat, though. He says Easy A anyway. So
he voted in the chat.
Yeah. So it would have been Easy A. So Easy A makes it to the finals. One of the best rom-coms ever made, I guess. So,
I gerrymandered the poll. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
I do not stand by my decision.
Yeah. That's the fun of tournament fights, though. Like you vote for like literally any reason. So we like a little chaos here. So why not? So this is our final right here. So And I'm up first, so this one's pretty easy. Not A, it's The Wedding Singer. So I gotta go with The Wedding Singer. So, Malcolm?
I mean, I've been spiteful for his hat this thing. I don't see it. What should stop. I don't see what should stop now. I'm gonna go easy.
Ooh, all right.
Oh man.
Richie, you gotta do the right thing because you're my fellow Adam Sandler fan. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like somebody kill me, please.
Yeah.
Wedding Singer.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the correct choice. Jen?
Yes, for the record, I do enjoy 40-year-old Virgin more than Easy A, but I wanted to make sure that we didn't let down the left side because the left side was a strong side throughout the entire thing. You could erase the entire right side of the bracket, in my opinion, honestly. A Wedding Singer belongs here. Between the last two of Wedding Singer and My Big Fat Greek Wedding, in my mind, those two split the difference perfectly between the romance elements and the comedic elements. Yeah. That's what you're looking for in a rom-com. It speaks to everybody. And I love the 80s. Like this is just a fun, adorable film. And I said I quote My Big Fat Greek Wedding all the time. I quote Wedding Singer all the time. Like I use the I'm reaping all the benefits all the time. So yeah, shout out to John Lovitz. I'm sorry you bombed that one time Jordan saw you, but the Wedding Singer won today, so that's great.
Yeah.
We can hold our heads up high.
Yeah, right. I think John Lovitz was just having an off night because I've seen him on some podcasts and he was actually really funny. Yes. So it's just an
He's a storyteller.
Yeah.
And a off-putting kind of like,
He is a storyteller for sure. But Jacob in the pro chat would also vote for The Wedding Singer. So we have a champion. It is The Wedding Singer. Greatest rom-com of all time. From 3 episodes. It's our number 1 grand champion. So there you have it, The Wedding Singer. So it was a fun time though. I have a lot of fun doing these 3-part series because you get 2 kind of longer episodes and you get a quick one. Like we're just over 2 hours. So for tournament fights, that's actually not.
That's very fast.
Yeah, it's very reasonable. So yep. So there it is, just to get a closer look. You can see what's
the
on the
minute
left
Hitch
side.
didn't make it out of the right side. I knew there was something wrong with that whole side. The vibe was off completely. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of like a chaos vote for me, honestly. Let's say that. But so that'll do it for us tonight. So we'll call it good, and that'll do it. So we'll have the poll up tomorrow. So we'll see what people think, if they're like pretty upset by the weirdness of a couple of the choices in there. But we'll go around the poll, and if you have anything that you want to promote, just tell us where we can find you. We'll start with Malcolm. Where can we find you?
You can find me having to quickly move myself because my chair broke on me.
He was so shocked of the proceedings that he just...
That was my best moment of the whole night right there. That was awesome. But sorry that it broke on you.
But it's fine. It was literally on its last leg.
Okay.
But you can find me over on Take 3 Productions hosting Rankin BBC Day. This week we are talking about the crazy guy Nick Cage doing top job Nicolas Cage movies. Richie's going to be there. Austin's going to be there.
Nice.
And you can also find me all over the place hosting trivia over on Full Metal and all the good places.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, where can we find you?
Yeah, like Malcolm said, I'm on Rankin Nicolas Cage. I'll hopefully get Jordan's favorite movie up there, Pig. And that should be fun. I'm also on this channel now on this channel all the time for the tournament fights and tier ranker. I never leave, but I'm also on here because wrestling. Me and Jacob and Jordan Owen's wrestling podcast. Lonely Marks. We're going to be here on Thursday night, reviewing WWE Backlash 2000. So we're doing a bit of a retro show. So I think the next time I'm on here is actually again Jacob's like 128 or whatever it is. Not on the whole. It's not the full episode, guys. So it's not going to go for 7 hours. It's in parts. But yeah, so that should be fun. And then you can find me around on the trivia spaces. I pop up here and there.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jen, where can we find you?
You can find me, Jen Kempe, at JK Meme Queen on Twitter and Letterboxd, where you can read my reviews. Some great rom-coms like You've Got Mail and When Harry Met Sally, Harold and Maude, The Big Sick, While You Were Sleeping, It Could Happen to You. All these things we haven't talked about today. They're all mad. They're like, yeah, those are great movies. But you can mostly see me on Twitter. That's really where I hang out in terms of social media, because I've given up completely on social media. I don't promote shit. But you can see me randomly on the Schmodown sometimes. If you haven't been watching Schmodown Friday Night Titans, I was on the very first episode versus Doug Benson. It was a great showing. Go check it out. It's really fun. If you haven't been watching, now's a great time to catch up, because you never know who's going to pop up every Friday. And the free-for-all is coming up pretty soon, I think at the end of the month. So who knows who will show up? You'll see some interesting characters, and who will take the title? Who knows? So
Bring back Jen.
All right. And Jacob is back just in time to do his plug. I was going to do them for you, but now that you're here, you can go for it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I got a phone call from my uncle.
Okay.
Things happen.
It's all good. But where can we find you, Jacob? You're up for your plug.
You can find me here. I do these shows a lot. I have a podcast about movies with Austin. This Saturday we're doing the movies that should have got a sequel, in our opinion. So that's gonna be a fun time. Thursday we're doing the Lonely Marks podcast. We're gonna talk about Backlash 2000, because the next next WWE pay-per-view coming up is Backlash, so it seemed appropriate.
Nice.
And that's what we're doing.
And you can find me starting a GoFundMe for Malcolm's chair fund, since his chair broke. We need to get him a new chair, right?
Our opinions were so bad we broke his chair.
Yeah, right. So the one for Jacob for more screens, one for Malcolm for his chairs. But you can find me all over the social media at Movie Hero 21 and 21. And I was going to say that the free for all that's actually happening on my birthday, so I know what I'm doing for my birthday. I'm watching the free for all. So that'll be fun on April 30th. So, and then you can find the poll with the Elite Eight over in the Schmodown Friends and Family group over there. And if there's anyone we've been trying to find for a while, someone who can be like our Schmodown consigliere person who can kind of promote and hype up the Schmodown, because we do support those in the community, but we haven't been able to have enough time to really post about all the individual matches. So we'd like to kind of get back to more of that. So if anybody's listening and might be interested in something like that, just hit me up and we'll talk more about that. But and then also, if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, you can definitely do that, because you can find out about some of our off the beaten path. Usually we film Tuesdays and Fridays for tier ranker and tournament fights, but we have an impromptu episode of tier ranker fights going on tomorrow night, because I was out of town last weekend, so we're going to throw you a bonus episode to make up for that, because we don't want to leave you hanging. So we'll do that for you. And then a few episodes we have coming up. So tomorrow night we're going to be doing, since it's in impromptu, we're going to be doing our predictions for cast and cameos for the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because the rumor is that movie is supposed to have more cameos and more things revealed than all the Avengers movies combined. So we're gonna do some predictions, do a little tier ranker of who we think might pop up in the movie. And then afterwards we'll go back and see if we got it right or not. Yeah, X-Men. I'm shooting for maybe
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so that should be a fun time. So, and then also on Friday we're doing our sports series championships with the week of some championship episodes. So we did 6 episodes. We'll have 60 for a tier ranker fight for that one. So we'll be determining top 10 sports movies of all time. So we got that coming up, and then we also have Papa West's top 64 movies of all time coming up next Tuesday. So you can look forward to that one. We also have best action movies from 2010 until now, because we're starting an action series. So we'll have that for a tier ranker. Then already mentioned Jacob Barber's top 128 movies part 1. That's coming up on May 3rd. So we got that one. And then we also have best action movies of the 2000s too, to continue that. So those are some episodes that you can look forward to. And I think with that, that'll do it for tonight. So thank you again to you guys for jumping on tonight, and for Malcolm, for Richie, for Jen, for Jacob, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.